if you were given the green light to remake any movie, what would you choose and why?
Oh man, I would do Big Trouble in Little China.
Hmm.
I,
Okay.
th- I just love that whole world. I love the character of Jack Burton. I like the Three Storms. I like I just think that's a very cool film. It would be
Yeah.
hard to redo that one because that's such an awesome film the way it is, but it would be fun.
Yeah.
That's great to do something like that.
Yeah. That's probably my most revisited Carpenter. It's just such a fun movie. And what do you think of they're doing a remake with The Rock? What do you think of that? Are you interested in that, or are you kind of
I love The
worried?
Rock. I mean,
Okay.
I think he's awesome. And look, man, that guy can do anything. He's so cool. So yeah, I guess game on
And you're available to direct if needed.
if
You'll
needed.
take it over.
Yeah, I will take that in a heartbeat. Let's go.
So,
Come
what's
on,
a
Dwayne,
movie?
hire me.
Yeah, if you're listening, yeah, definitely do that. What's a movie that your diehard fans would be surprised that you enjoy?
Oh, geez. Die Hard one? Maybe that's not a surprise then. I think that's like the perfect action film, actually. A movie that fans would think, oh, geez.
Someone steps out of Hatchet 3 and goes, "Oh, this guy loves Pride and Prejudice." That would be a very shocking.
Geez, yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's crazy. Like, I mean, the thing is, like the older films, like Love Forrest Gump. That's an awesome movie. My
It's
answer is
funny.
gonna be so boring.
Uh, what do you think is the best decade of film history?
I love the '80s.
Okay, cool,
There's a
cool.
there's a certain look to it there's a certain look to films, even like the comedies from back then that I don't think anyone can capture anymore. And I don't know
Yeah,
if it was film stock or if it was just the way things were. I don't know, but there's a feel to those films that I think no one's really been able to like harness since
yeah,
then.
yeah. What do you think is the worst decade of film history?
Ooh, that's tough. I I'd be more of an answering a music with that, and I would say '90s.
Oh, really? Interesting.
There's some good '90s movies, but I don't know. I mean, I late '90s, I guess. I think I don't know. Not sure
Yeah,
on that. Yeah,
it's a treat. I hadn't really thought about it, and I was watching an interview recently with Tarantino. He was talking about he said the 50s was his least favorite period of movies because it was so censored. And he said the 80s was like 50s part two. And I was like, but the 80s also gave us some of the coolest, it would be hard for me to sacrifice a lot in the 80s. I think the early 80s for me is the coolest period because you
yeah,
still had the hardcore do whatever you want 70s era style,
yeah.
but you had the 80s aesthetic. And I think there's some really cool movies in that realm. Um,
I
you
also
know,
think it's a part of when you're growing up and what
yeah.
you're actually
What do
seeing.
you look back on fondly and remember being
And
cool?
that's the '80s because that was a huge, like we talked about earlier, that's a big influence for me.
That's
And
funny.
probably a lot of people. I think and now you see a lot of people trying to kind of copy the '80s feel, and it's getting a little saturated. But I love those movies. I love the way they look. I love the way they feel. They introduce us to a lot of awesome characters. Great stuff.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. What is the best piece of advice you would give to an aspiring filmmaker who's listening to this interview?
I think that's pretty easy. We kind of talked about that. I'd say just go out and do it. Get a camera, figure it out. Get your buddies together. Go out and just make movies. Learn the editing software you can get now. If you want to do anything, you can do it. Don't think you can't do it. If you want to do it hard enough, you will make it. You just have to keep trying. Just go, 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 and don't let anyone stop you or squash your dreams. I mean, I had people tell me, "Oh, another Steadicam operator is going to be doing this." When I was a grip, and I was like, you know what? Yeah, I am, and I did. So I think it's as long as you follow your dreams, as long as you do what you want, you're going to succeed. And don't let people, along the way, crush that because there's a
Uh,
lot of people that are haters and they will try to crush that.
yeah, and they don't go away. I'm guessing they just grow in numbers.
Yeah, there's always people there. So yeah,